everybody. We are back. Brewed Opinions, episode 30. Milestone, KT.
Special guest.
Special guest.
The entitled one.
For the second time.
Part 2, Electric Boogaloo. I've gotten 2 more parts than that no good son of a bitch, Kyle Steele.
Wow.
That is true. We got a huge weekend, Father's Day weekend. Got a couple fathers in here. We got big stuff coming up with PWR.
Big stuff, June 28th,
And
Ascension.
Forrest, it's been, we all know that you were on 23, the 23 cast. Now you're on 30. We've had 7 episodes. What's been going on in your life?
Oh man, it's been a wild adventure. I've been everywhere. I was at Sunshine Pro for a little bit. Went and wrestled over there in a PWR. Great match. Got lost. You
didn't win?
No, I know. That shocked everybody.
Bullshit.
Right. I got beat up in the beginning, but granted, I was talking shit to to Flying Brian Kaiser, Ethan Olsen, Bam, and Shane, and then they all got mad and beat me up, which I understand. I was talking shit. I would have done the same. Been everywhere. Done this, done that. Went to Canada once. Not really.
Man, we
got close.
We had the big introduction to Forrest the last time on
Yes.
episode 23, but the one thing that stood out on your whole introduction is you are the 4th best Canadian.
4th most beloved, but I'll take fourth best. I don't know if I would rank myself 4th best. There's a lot of good Canadians. 4th most beloved, believable. 4th best, not so much.
We might have a whole Stanley Cup team that's better than you here.
Yeah. That's I don't know to have a Stanley Cup yet.
So
seen it, but never
So since you guys last saw us, it's been a couple of weeks. A lot of stuff's happened in the world of wrestling. The independent scene, which Forrest is going to get into, but also WWE has gone crazy. People thought they were losing their touch, but then Triple H said, "Hold my beer." And now we've had Saturday Night Main Event, we've had Money in the Bank, and we've
the firing of R-Truth and the rehiring of Ron Killings.
And we probably had the best Raw that we've seen in a very long time.
Oh, that was a good Raw.
It was. What are your thoughts coming out? KT had some really good things to say to me on the phone the other day about how John Cena. Go into what you were saying about how John Cena is actually starting to finally feel this character.
Well, I do feel like he's finally starting to in the beginning, I didn't get the whole blackout and everything, but now with the ring having all the advertisements on it, it feels like you're watching a boxing match or UFC.
Yeah.
And the way he's playing into that, with it going black and just the white Cena on the black back screen and doing the towel, and
he's got the championship backwards. When I was on,
it pisses me off that he's got the championship backwards.
But at least you're seeing the championship. AEW wears the championship.
It's not in the briefcase.
It's not in the goddamn briefcase. No, last time I was on here on episode 23, we talked about he had just turned heel and how did I feel. I think it's great. He's really steamrolled into this. Really got it. The crowd hates him. You're still gonna have the long time Cena rocks and then Cena sucks chance, but that music hits, they're booing him out of the building.
I almost like the music hitting better now that it feels bigger than it ever has felt. Him not coming out and doing this happy-go-lucky shit.
Which is crazy. He's there for coming for a save. He still had to do the towel thing and then throw it and run to the ring, and now he doesn't run to the ring. Which
it's a slow walk.
Which, granted, might be due to age too. You know what I mean?
But it's also the last
he's
time
he's not knocking our socks off with his wrestling.
I also think this is a conversation I've had with multiple people, wrestling fans, wrestlers, and everything. He's doing he's the anti-wrestler. He's not gonna do the flashy stuff that he used to do. He's not gonna do all that crazy stuff because that's not what he's here to do this time.
But he's ruining wrestling.
He's ruining wrestling.
Yeah,
how you ruin wrestling is by bringing back the Hogan era stuff. Hit 3 moves. The match with Cody Rhodes. He came off the top rope. He did more double axe handles than I've seen since I watched 80s wrestling.
Let's talk about going into Cena, the main event at Money in the Bank. Did you lose something?
My drink. I needed that.
Can't take this guy anywhere.
But you guys finally did get me catering, so I appreciate that.
Hey,
Apparently,
we've grown in 7 episodes.
Okay, good.
You have to get a part 2 to get catering.
Oh, is that the rule now? But some people come on here one time and get catering though.
So the main event at Money in the Bank, I thought Money in the Bank was a very good pay-per-view. I think it told some stories.
It did tell some stories.
I thought the main event, I thought Logan Paul continues to do things that backflip was dangerous.
Yeah.
But also, he pulled it off.
Yeah, like, we've seen when people do, like, the moonsault from there, like, we saw what happened with JD, you know, he hurt himself, like, bad. And
yeah.
Like, when I saw him doing it, when I saw Logan Paul hit the air, I was like, oh, God, I hope this goes good, because there's very little room
for error.
Room for error there. Like, he did an interview saying the way he landed, his shins were on fire afterwards. And it's like, yeah, that there's no, like, either your shins are going to be on fire, or you're going to send your AC, or you're going to send your kneecap into your ankle.
But even what Logan Paul's doing...
Hence why I don't do any high-flying stuff.
Like, what Logan Paul's doing with the drone...
Leave it up to Kaiser.
Like,
Yeah,
I thought that the drone suplex off the top turnbuckle with Cody was one of the coolest shit I have seen as far as changing the way wrestling is viewed.
So,
like...
I wonder if that was planned or that just happened.
More than likely planned. So, I went to the NXT show over there in Tampa, the pay-per-view. And
I know, you texted me about that.
Yeah, I mean, it was great. I loved it. Joe Hendry losing was a big shock to me. But, like, you could see the drone.
It's only a matter of time before Joe Hendry's in WWE.
Yeah, it's like...
Officially.
Say his name. No beer.
Right.
KT
They believe in Joe Hendry,
Hendry,
but they don't believe in Chris Carnage. We'll talk about that son of a bitch, too. Got a lot of things I hate nowadays, so we'll go over that, too. But no,
right when you were becoming a face.
Right, no, no. People think, oh, he's becoming a face, so he might not hate Ohio. No, I still hate Ohio.
Well, we all hate Ohio.
Everybody hates Ohio.
And you know what Ohio hate? We're going to branch off on this. You know what Ohio hatred gets a little ramped up? Is fucking September when Ohio State starts playing football.
Yeah.
And it's like, I hate Ohio State. For it, like, we're talking Ohio State football. Thanks a lot, Forrest. Thanks.
All right, so hang on. We'll get back to the Ohio and why Wisconsin's a bunch of cheese curd eating fucama. We'll get into all that.
Is there any state that you like?
Florida, Washington, Georgia. Have you been to Georgia? Georgia's lovely. Bama. I'm going to visit Tennessee. We'll talk about that too. Yeah. But no, back to the point of
we digress.
The drone thing. Like, you could see the drone like flying around and doing stuff. So more than likely, like, you're not getting in that wrestling ring and like sneaking a drone in and like, hey, I'm going to do this random drone shot, especially the WWE.
But like, you know, he was having it land on his hand, but like the actual holding it on during the flip.
Yeah. Oh, it was unbelievable. Seeing like just
KT was pumped about
it.
It
brought you into the action. Like, you just got suplexed.
Yeah.
Like the way it all hit.
That's the next
evolution
phase,
of how
you
they
could even
film.
see when. You remember when the WWE was putting the cameras on the refs?
Oh, I hated that. But
I know, but it was like that. You're like, it's almost like VR, like virtual reality. Yeah. Like, you're trying to.
Well, you have to do it tastefully. You have to, like, the cuts that you go to have to be like.
Have you seen where they do like football and hockey games at like the knockout versions of like what is it over there, the Sphere or the Dome over there in Vegas?
Oh yeah.
Well, like
that place is incredible.
Well, like as they do, there's places where like you look like you're sitting like on the side, like you were sitting on the bench, or you're.
Oh, there's a place in Dallas that they do the WWE pay-per-views.
Yeah, and it's like you're
sitting in there, and it's like you're in the ring.
Yeah, you're sitting right there, and like so, the modernization of wrestling though, with like television angles and everything, like is becoming like. Absolutely.
Even what they do with the arenas, because like watching Raw the other night and us going into the Crown event in Saudi Arabia, did it not feel like the way they filmed that was being done on Raw the other night? I took it that way. Like, it almost felt like we're watching the Crown Jewel.
It's becoming cinematic. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Like the way these new arenas have all this digital technology now that they can play on
especially
everything.
In that where Money in the Bank was in the Intuit Dome in LA. That there's a lot of technology in that place.
Oh yeah. That's what's even crazier is like they're building like stadiums to like incorporate like so much of like there's not going to be an angle that they're not going to have.
Everything's digital.
Like, and it's like, oh, remember when you would have like, you would see them like up close shots, like in a football game. You're like, oh, the guy catching it. You have, or they have, what is they call it, the sky cam or whatever. Yep. You have that. That was revolutionary. And now we're getting done.
The XFL.
Right.
That's where it came from.
I know. Yeah. Like,
That's the only good thing that came out of the XFL.
Didn't Orlando have an XFL team for a minute there?
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Orlando
The original.
Rage.
The Rage.
The
Rage.
They at the Citrus Bowl.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They were big. They're the monsters.
Who was the player that like came out of there? He hate me.
He hate me.
Right? He was like the only and Tommy Maddox for the Steelers. Like,
I knew somebody who had a He Hate Me jersey. Still does, actually.
it's you, isn't it?
No, it's not me. No.
That's what you should wear the next.
No.
There's your new ring gear, right?
Yeah. There's my new. I'm gonna go get an Orlando Rage He Hate Me jersey.
That would be good.
How hard would that be
It
to
kind
find?
of
I could probably find it at the Deland Goodwill, like I found that Blaine Gabbert jersey. They wanted $75 for it.
Oh man.
No, I was okay. Let me be honest. Like, if it was a relatively priced Blaine Gabbert jersey, I know like you're a Jaguar, guys are Jaguar. I'd be like, all right, let me get it for. I'm not paying $75 for a Blaine Gabbert jersey. I don't care.
But maybe a Blake Bortles jersey. Blake Bortles is KT's boy.
Maybe. I might pay $75 for a Tim Tebow
Best of all
Jaguar.
time.
Best of over Trevor Lawrence.
No, yeah, no.
Oh no! Don't get him started on Trevor Lawrence.
Leave. Get off.
We're
the
not having a Jaguars
No.
podcast tonight.
We're all over the place. We're all over the place.
All right, but
We're just so excited we have the Entitled
Yeah.
Millennial.
I'm back.
tonight.
I'm back,
Entitled
baby.
Millennial, Forrest Nystrom. I didn't even give you a proper.
it's all right.
That-
It's all right.
I'm not on your payroll, so I don't. Have,
Yeah,
you
no,
know,
shockingly enough, I just made it back onto the payroll.
But honestly, you know, to get back to Money in the Bank, Logan Paul did some crazy stuff. I thought to go back on the WWE, having to use the social media platform to shock us with, we don't know if truth was really released. We don't know if it was a play. And that's what's great. We don't know.
It's
and
brilliant.
and Triple H in his press conference even said it's all part of the show.
We're in this
enjoying
new
the show.
We're in this new world where everything is going digital and everything with the AI and shit. You don't know half the time if your algorithm is telling you the truth or if
Right,
it's not telling
like-
you the truth. Like they're playing into kayfabe now on a bigger
And
level,
that-
and it's
the-
fucking awesome.
If truth was not really released, then the WWE
Listen to the fans.
they also got something over that the fans couldn't predict, and using social media
Yeah.
to their.
I mean, after as being in the wrestling industry as long as I had it, just as like even from like I'll give you the point of view from like a worker. Like it looks like everything like it was worked. Like maybe because his contract was expiring. So maybe they're like, all right, let's turn this into an angle. How do we turn this into an angle? Okay, we release him. Like, at first I thought it was he was messing around, and then then it became he came back, and I was like, well, maybe they actually listen to fans. But like, as a fan, like, I'm still not sure what happened. Like, if I take away like the element of knowing how like companies are, but like, I still don't I can't put my finger on it if it's not, and they're never gonna.
And that's great.
Yes.
I was telling Jay, I saw on Instagram like Miz and Gunther both have like stopped following WWE. I mean, obviously it was a ploy, but it's like they were like all the wrestlers
You know
were
what was
pissed.
a great-
There was a lot of stuff about how everyone was mad and upset within the company.
You know what was great? You know, the biggest radio talk show of wrestling is Busted Open. We if you have Sirius satellite radio, you listen to Busted Open if you're a wrestling fan. It's the #1 show on their platform. And those guys, as tuned in as to wrestling as Bubba is, or Bully, and
Dave
Mark
Dreamer.
Henry, Tommy Dreamer, they were all talking about how furious they were that the truth was.
Are they in on the work?
Right.
though?
It's like-
like what's
Like,
workers
here's
do?
even you guys are talking about that, but I listened to Jim Cornette's take on it, and like even Jim Cornette wasn't sure what was going on. Like, and now they talked about him being rehired, and he's like said the same thing, was like, if this was something they worked into an angle, like I didn't even know. Like Jim Cornette, who's seen everything and has seen every angle and done every angle that's possibly been done. Like, if you can get him like legitimately, I mean, he also has a history with like Ron and all that when he did a little bit of time in TNA, and he's like, yeah, like, when he first was like, yeah, I don't see why, but his contract was up, and then he came back and he's like, I don't even know what to say about this anymore. Like,
I thought
Kudos, Triple H.
Triple H, absolutely. Like, I hope that truth was never released, and Triple H did this. Like, and he made the whole world believe.
Because
Because that's what you have to do. You have to use social media against the fans.
If you either got like the IWC community, the internet wrestling community is such a fickle bitch.
Yeah,
and
it really is.
And they're like honestly, like if I had to list people who cry a lot, it would go Tiberius, aka Cryberius, your daughter Harper Cryberius, the IWC. Like like sometimes they swap places there. Like they were so upset.
You mean someone cries more than Tiberius?
Yeah, the internet wrestling fans.
We love you, Tiberius. Don't,
They lie.
And we love the wrestling fans, but you guys act fickle bitches sometimes.
They do. Like you see, people are like, I want to try to make the internet wrestling community like me. That's never gonna happen. It's like either they like one thing or they don't like the other, or there's very few like in the middle. But like the IWC was crying about, oh, they need to bring back R-Truth. This is bullshit. Blah 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 blah. Like first of all, his contract was already up, and then like if they did release him, like. You telling me Ron Killings couldn't walk into anywhere and be like, hey, like I'm done, like I'm out, like who wants to sign me? He'd be everywhere.
They were talking about how on Busted Open they brought up some great points that they could have ran. Like if Ron Killings was really released and he signed with AEW, he could have walked around AEW and been like, saw Chris Jericho and be like, man, where you been, dog? Like they could have done like
it would have been.
Stuff,
I would have lost it if he actually been released and went over to AEW and saw the guys from WWE and were like,
your name's Moxley now?
Right? What's up? Like start calling him like,
what's up, Ambrose? You know,
like Dean, where have you been? Like you missed call like 3 years, like 5 years ago.
I thought they were talking about that on Busted Open, and I was just dying laughing, thinking about what they could have done.
And see, like, and here's my thing: like, at the end of the day, like, whether he had been released or not, and like he'd been legitimately been released and hadn't come back, like, he's had a run. He was like.
He had a great career.
He had a great career. He cashed it in. Like, at the end. Like, I like that Carlito leaned into the IWC fan saying he's been stealing money from the... He had the tweet that's like, yeah, I have an investigation team looking into the money I stole from WWE. I was like, kudos. Like, fuck you, IWC.
Did he even wrestle a match?
No. That was the best part.
I mean, he was funny. Like, the whole storyline.
Yeah, I think he had, like, one or two here and there, but, like the whole point when he brought back was that...
Well, he came back at the Puerto Rico show.
Yeah. Got such a pop, he got re-signed.
And then he just...
hung out.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why anybody was mad about it. Like, I don't have to wrestle. I can show up and get paid to do it. Like, I'm just...
Speaking of the Judgment Day, like, where do we see that... We talked about this, I don't know, I know you're an avid listener of the podcast. We talked
People
about
in Ohio are not. You guys lost a lot of fans last time, and they're not. I don't think they're getting them back next time.
Well, that's okay.
Nobody
We're
cares.
Gator fans, so it doesn't
matter.
So we talked solely on this episode of the potential SummerSlam match between Dominic Mysterio and Finn Balor.
Yeah.
And I feel like all roads are leading to this. Judgment Day seems to be hanging on by a thread. I love what Finn's doing by kind of taking Roxanne Perez in and kind of, and the whole thing with...
we even, with Nikki Bella the other night saying that, is Dominic your man or is it Roxanne's?
And then, like, he said, oh, good job for winning the qualifier, and then Liv showed up. I mean, they're setting all this up for, I mean, I would assume SummerSlam.
Yes.
I mean...
That's the next pay-per-view.
Yeah, I mean, Dominic Mysterio
is a star, dude. We got Night of Champions.
We got Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia.
And we're getting CM Punk versus John Cena at Night of Champions.
That should be pretty good.
It should have been a SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Do you think
I was kind of shocked.
Cashes in?
I was kind of shocked that they were doing it.
How long do you think Seth's going to hold that briefcase? We're all over the place. We're all over the place.
So...
And now we got SmackDown starting. So
I love Seth coming out of the end and just being like, "Listen, boys.
Yeah, I like.
Who's got the money?
Let's start with the Judgment Day. Like, I do like the way it's going. It's obviously setting up for like Dominic versus Finn, which.
Let's face it, Dominic is probably a bigger star than WWE ever imagined.
Like, I will agree with you on that because like when they brought him in, like he was supposed to be like Rey Mysterio's son. You know, and like work with Rey Mysterio, and then like he started.
And then they used that, and then they used the separation, and then do we eventually see before Rey hangs it up for good? Do we see a reconciliation?
I think that's been Rey's dream at the end, like in the long run, is to like
how proud must Rey be?
Listen, and whether at the end of the day, like, you know, he's super proud of his son at the end of the day for everything he's accomplished, because he's done it, like, he came in as Ray's son, and then he's now branched off, and he's Dominic Mysterio, and he's doing his own thing. Like, he's over with the fans. They were booing him out of the building, and then when he won the internet,
one of the biggest pops of the night.
the biggest pop,
Hendry.
yeah, that was the biggest pop. And
Those are your pops at WrestleMania.
yeah. So, and to be able to get that kind of pop at that WrestleMania, like, and now he's getting cheers, still getting booed here and there, because, you know, he's Dominic Mysterio.
Jesus Christ. How do you not make Chelsea Green the queen of the ring?
How do you not? How do you not? But yeah, and then...
Sorry.
And then... But there's ton...
We're all over the place, dude.
Jacob Fatu.
Dude, how good was that in Money in the Bank?
Oh, that...
Probably the only importance that came out of that match. I was kind of disappointed that Seth won. I don't think he needed to win.
I don't think he needed to win. I'm upset that 3 years in a row we've had LA Knight in the ladder match, and 3 years in a row we've had LA Knight not win. Naomi winning the...
And they teased it all leading up to it.
Oh, they teased it all the time. It's eventually...
Oh, it's his third year. Is this the one?
You know what I thought would have been a really cool thing? Is if El Grande Americano won.
Chad Gable.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's Chad Gable?
It's Chad Gable.
Are you sure?
But I would have loved... But you know what? They could have ran with a nice little story.
Right.
Of, El Grande
I don't know.
Americano.
You know what?
And then suddenly Chad Gable shows up with the briefcase and...
Right. I mean, you know what? They did interview Chad Gable, and El Grande Americano got arrested in the background. So I don't know. Maybe it's not the same guy. Just look alike, you know.
You know
but
what?
it's like people.
Where are we at? I forgot.
We were
all over the place.
We were talking about
Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank, and then we talked about. I mean, Seth winning Money in the Bank. I think he eventually cashes in. Like, does he do them? Everybody's like, well, maybe he'll do the Mania thing again. And I'm like, no, it's already been done. Like. It's dumb. Like, I think he's gonna wait for the right moment, but like, maybe I don't think it's SummerSlam.
Hey, thinking of this angle, what do you think about this? Like, I was surprised that Braun didn't win the Fatal 4-Way on Monday Night Raw, and that they gave it to Sammy. So they incorporate LA Knight, who comes in and screws Braun Breaker over. Now, if you're trying to establish this new faction, which we don't know a name yet, we're still all trying to figure out what this new.
I think it's gonna be the
Power, the future, something
the
like
mega
that.
powers. That was been done.
They keep
future power.
They keep dropping power.
And they say future a lot too. They say future a lot too.
We're all over the place.
Yeah, no, talking about the.
But what do you
Triple H
think?
show.
Like from that angle, like with LA Knight coming out, and him and Braun have had things.
So I think with LA Knight coming out, like it's gonna set up for something for SummerSlam. There's got to be something going on. Like, I was shocked that with Sammy going over, like, I had Braun. I was rooting for Braun. I love Braun Breaker.
Wouldn't you think that Braun would win the King of the Rings and
Yeah.
establish this faction? Like, Braun's going to be the King of the Ring.
Right.
Seth's going to have Money in the Bank.
Right.
You know, like...
And then, I mean, I don't think they're trying... Because, like, what they need to do is they don't have the tag team just yet. They have Seth. They have...
Yeah, but Bronson and Braun...
And then they've got
dominate
Bronson Reed, and then they've got... Braun Breaker. They don't have like a real tag team just yet. Like, I mean, you could have Braun and Bronson Reed just run rampant through the tag team. Who's the tag team champs right now over there?
So you think there's maybe needs one more guy?
That's sad that we have to ask that question.
I just haven't been paying.
The Raw tag team champions are New Day.
Oh yeah,
that's good. Good job, dude.
Are they?
Someone's paying attention.
Is there a SmackDown champion?
There is. It's
the Street Profits. I thought no.
Yes.
Oh, okay, it is the Street Profits. Yeah.
You guys are on
I'm
fire.
JC Mateo.
I thought this was one of the best moments of the night.
This was the moment of the night.
I hate you, Solo. Like,
yeah.
I mean, that's setting up SummerSlam.
And the other thing, that's setting up for SummerSlam. The thing I like, we were talking about the social media thing. I like that WWE
showing fan reactions now.
Yeah, shows the fan, like the streamers, and there's been a couple of streamers I watched. They've had a bunch of stuff on there and other stuff.
How about the Fireball ladder sponsorship? Give me a break, man. Yeah.
And we got to talk about sponsorship opportunities at PWR. Fireball, you want
those?
Yeah, we need to get. We got some sponsor stuff to talk. If you want to sponsor the PWR, you can more than welcome to. Like, if you guys want to sponsor, you can sponsor Velo. Do you want to sponsor me? Or Fireball. If you want to sponsor our next show, call us. Send us an email.
So let's. I know we've kind of been all over on this podcast. We've talked about Money in the Bank. Like I said, this is going to go a while.
Yeah.
But Forrest, we've got a big PWR show on the horizon.
Ooh,
You've got some personal travel going on.
I do have
some other. Tell us what your next couple weeks look like.
So my next couple of weeks, I am a busy entitled millennial. Busy man. Next weekend, I'm going to Resolute Pro Wrestling up there in Crossville, Tennessee. My opponent is, as you guys may remember, Caleb Courageous.
Yeah.
We really like Caleb Courageous.
That's the rumor I hear. So
We've shouted him out on this podcast after a PWR show.
but there's an issue with Caleb Courageous. He's been ducking me for years. When he came down for PWR, I said, "Hey, let me have Caleb Courageous. We crossed paths here, known him for a long time. Came up together, Said no. He backed away.
He doesn't want any of the entitled.
He said
millennial?
no. He said, I don't want to wrestle him. I said, okay, all right, we got heat or something? But no. So he's been ducking me for years, and then finally, a couple of friends hit me up, said they were going up there, and I said, let's...
I know somebody that wrestles up there.
I did. My exact words were, I know somebody who's wrestled there. And so the powers that be booked me versus Caleb Courageous June 20th at Resolute Pro. So if you live in the Tennessee area, come check it out. But see, the other issue is the Caleb Courageous I'm going to wrestle. It's not the Caleb Courageous I want to wrestle. The man the man I'm going to wrestle is a washed up family man who only cares about his subpar hardcore band and collecting toys.
Wow.
So Caleb Courageous, I need you to make sure you bring your A game when you and I step in that squared circle on June 20th. Because you're currently holding the Losers Championship, which is perfect for you. And I'm going to walk away from the match not only the victor, but not the Losers Champion.
Wow, some big words being spoken by the entitled millennial.
Caleb. I mean,
holy
we
shit.
loved you when you were here in D-Land at PWR, and we wish we were going to be in Tennessee next week. I hope we can watch that somewhere online.
I will make sure it's posted online because it's going to be an absolute barn burner. Main event anywhere in America.
Are we going to have a He Hate Me jersey?
I might. I might wear a University of Kentucky jersey up there.
Oh, they love that.
Oh, yeah, they love it. I might come out to Dixieland Delight, too.
That would be classic.
Oh,
that would be the entitled millennial at his
3rd
prime.
October, or what is it, the 3rd Saturday in
I didn't
October?
say millennium, by the way.
Yeah.
See, you're going up there for business, man.
I'm
You're going
going-
up there to take care of some shit.
No,
So
yeah.
how many nights are you going to be there?
We're there I'm there 2 nights.
Do you know who your other Matt? Are you fighting someone next
I'm
night?
gonna be at IWF. I haven't really found out my opponent yet because they're
It
like,
doesn't matter.
yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna go in,
Ring the bell. I'll fucking take care of it.
right, ring in, take care of business, go to the pay window, hit on the road, and get out of there like I stole something. I might actually steal something out of there. They got some nice stuff there, that IWF and Resolute. I might take a couple of things.
So what are the exact dates for this?
The 20th and 21st, I'll be up there. And then the next weekend, June 28th, is the big PWR Ascension. And
We've been talking about it on this show.
Yeah,
But now there's a couple matches that have already been announced.
there have been a couple.
Yep.
There's
Women's match.
We have a women's match.
JC Black making a return.
My daughter loves JC Black. I personally love JC Black. Seen her some other places. She's great. Wrestled. Her versus Bibby was a great match.
It was amazing. It was awesome.
And
We gave it the match of the night on this
and
podcast.
yeah,
My daughters loved it. What? So we have a new...
Forrest probably didn't like that. We
No,
gave that the match of the night.
no.
But
I get it. You gotta give the women's match. No.
So there's from what I understand, there's a new woman that we haven't seen yet.
Lizzie B. I don't know much about her. I've seen some of her stuff online. That when bringing in new people, they put out a company-wide email and give us a couple of clips to look at people. She's talented. I'll give her her flowers that she deserves.
Have her and JC Black got into it at all, or is this going to be a fresh one?
I think this is a fresh one. I'm not really sure if there's history there. There might be. I don't
Because JC Black spends a lot of time in Riot, right?
Oh, she was a mainstay over there. She goes a lot of other places too. We're trying to get her to Tennessee too.
Okay. And we've got, I think the main advertisement that you guys have been pushing is the high voltage championship Rumble match.
Yes,
right?
we're going to be crowning another
And
new
is somebody in that match?
So there are a lot of people in that match, but I'm going to go ahead and...
But only one person in this room.
Only one person in this room. Who knows? It's a Rumble. You never know who's going to show up. Y'all might show up.
GP might show up. KT might show up.
You don't want this guy taking bumps.
No. We don't need you like hurting yourself. I
will. You might be hearing this voice in the match.
Hear the Brute Opinion like theme song play. No, I'm officially announcing that because I need a championship because this is goddamn garbage that I don't have a championship yet. You know, took on the former champion, didn't win that. Can't be a tag team champion because I don't have a partner yet, and but so we got another title.
Don't you still have an entitled contract?
No, we're gonna talk about that. I have a whole thing we need to talk about because there's contracts involved in that. But no, so we have the.
I thought you lost your entitlement clause.
I did to Tiberius. But we're going to talk about that. Let me get the promotion in about this Rumble. Let me talk about this Rumble.
Business, KT.
Business. This is how I get my checks. This is how I get paid. So we're going to have the big Rumble match. Like, you know, there's going to be tons of people. We're not doing a 30-man Rumble. We ain't got time for that. We ain't got the time.
Do we know how many people are in so far?
So far right now, there's 15 opponents.
Wow.
Nice. And are we coming in your traditional Rumble style?
Yes, we're going to do traditional Rumble style, over the top rope. I might throw a couple bozos over just to get them out.
Every 1 minute, every 2 minutes?
I think
we don't know yet.
We're working, our lovely production team is working on figuring all that. I think right now we're going to do standard Rumble style, 2 minutes.
And have you seen the new high voltage belt?
I have not. They keep that locked in the vault at the main.
So they're going to show it to everybody.
Yeah, it'll be
right there.
Yeah, it'll be there.
Any other big stars? I know there's a promotional poster with a lot of people on there. Mm-hmm. Is there anybody that's in this match that you are looking for? Kind of like a Drew McIntyre coming for Brock Lesnar. Like, is there something? Is there someone that if you draw a number? And by the way, do you know what number you are? Or are you guys going to find out that night?
They apparently are just. We're gonna get. They got you know those giant sombreros you can buy.
Yeah,
they're gonna do that. Senior Justice.
Senior Justice.
He's in charge. It was his idea. There was a thing at Cinco de Mayo. Then his birthday came up, and then. That was his birth. That was what he wanted, to be able to have the sombrero and everybody pick the name. So then you get to draw. We're drawing day of.
Okay.
So,
what number do you want to hit?
Personally, whatever the last. I think
you want the last number. Of
right,
course you do.
Of course, who doesn't?
I want to be fresh.
Right. I want all these bozos to beat each other up. Yeah. Then when I come in at number 15 or whatever, if we add more, come in last. I can just start chucking bozos over the top rope and then win the championship.
But don't you want to do the Shawn Michaels and last for an hour? And
no, I don't. No. I'm 30, almost 38 years old. I don't want to do all that anymore. No, I want to come in, throw a couple.
Or you want to do the Cody, come in at 30 and win it.
Yeah, and then when somebody comes, I might even do a drop down, throw them over the rope. There we go.
There we go. So, is there anybody in the match that you are gunning for? Or that might be gunning for you.
Everybody in that match. That's a dumb question.
You're entitled asshole. So
yeah. If you asked anybody, who are you gunning for in this match? Forrest Nystrom. I might even say Forrest Nystrom.
I might even get in the ring and throw you out.
Right. So I would probably throw myself out. That's the other reason I need to come in last, because if I come in in the middle there, there's a lot of bozos that before me and then a lot of bozos after me that might have a problem with me.
So what you're saying is your walk to the ring is going to be extremely slow. And by the way, Cody's coming out to confront John Cena.
Yes, so. I see that. Whoa.
But yeah, so you're going to walk very slow to the ring.
Yeah, see, here's the other thing people don't realize. You're not officially in the match until you get in the ring.
Right.
So, even if I come in
so you plan this out.
Yeah, so even if I come in at, right there in the middle, I could just hang out. I might even take a seat, might grab some...
Come over and have a beer with us.
I might hang out, drink a beer with
I'm going to be doing commentator. Come sit down.
I might do some commentary. I might just come out, do a little commentary with you, and I think you're going to be working with Phil.
Yep.
I might sit down. I love Phil. So I might sit down, do a little commentary.
Phil's the man.
Wait till everybody gets in, then enter. Or I might even wait till they got 2 or 3 people left.
There's no rules that once you get there, you have to get in
No, there's no rules.
Yeah.
You're giving away the secret, man. You're giving away the secret.
Tomorrow, we're going to find out tomorrow. We're going to find out, by Monday, you have to enter when you come in. You sons of bitches.
Yeah.
No, if there's one person, you said one person.
That's what I was wanting. I knew you had one.
There's one.
I think I've seen his picture.
His name is Kyle Steele.
Oh,
Kyle Steele.
Boy.
So
we saw him show up a couple, two pay-per-views ago.
PLEs.
Two PLEs.
Yes. He shows up
with
like
Ironside.
With Ironside.
Is Ironside in the match?
He looked pretty impressive. You're not worried about that?
He looked.
He kind of got after you a little bit.
He did. He did get after me. We did have that match, and he got bailed out by Ironside.
True.
That's when all hell broke loose.
That's when all hell broke loose. Like, and so here's the thing. So you guys follow our PWR social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, and we're on TikTok too.
Nice.
So is Senior Justice. He paid me $5 to promote him. That DVD and was out on vacation in Seattle, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
I saw that.
They posted that. What is that about?
And then who was standing next to her?
Oh,
It was Kyle Steele. And what did they call him? The PWR standout.
Wow. One match.
One match in the
One match.
One, and they call him a standout. The only thing he does is stand out there and watch Ironside wrestle just like somebody else does.
You know, I did think that was interesting that Kyle Steele was in Seattle with DVD.
Yeah, and here's another thing, because Seattle, I was born in Florida, raised here,
And they're in your country.
I moved out there. By the way, I moved back to Florida because apparently the flights were getting too expensive. But just so happened that I was contractually obligated to be in Florida 3 days before they get to Seattle.
Wow.
What's going on?
There's some shenanigans there.
Shenanigans. Like, you got, okay, I get it. Maybe Diva D or Dick Mondale.
Did they just run into each other?
That's what they're
in
saying.
Seattle.
Yeah. Okay. Like, running into somebody.
Florida and Seattle are on opposite ends of the fucking
if you
map.
Say, if they were, down in, Holly Hell or that dump it down in Tampa or Orlando, anywhere. Even that crap hole Jacksonville.
See, hey, they just
you know what I mean? Central Florida area, maybe. You know what I mean? It's happened. I've been to events, ran into people I've known at events. It happens all the time. Nobody goes randomly to Seattle at the same time.
So what do you think is what do you think's developing there? Do you think
I don't know.
I noticed that Kyle Steele and Ironside are in the match.
Both of them. Which is kind of bad news for me because I've been
that's
talking shit about both. I'm not really worried about Kyle Steele, but Ironside is a big motherfucker.
He's a beast.
He is a beast. Do we know, is it just the two of them? Because there was a lot of weird things going on.
So
that night when they came after you,
Yeah.
they had the situation with Tiberius. They gave each other the nod. It's like, how big is this group?
So
Or how big is this?
I don't know if there's a group. I don't know if there's a faction. I don't know what's going on. I know that we got old Ethan Olsen. We were at Sunshine Pro. Came out with Baron von Blackheart, whatever his name is.
Yeah,
they got some weird
him a lot. This Baron Blackheart. I've been.
There's
seeing
a
him
weird
a lot.
culty thing going on. I'm not big on cults.
There's some underlying shit that's kind of
there's some
you start putting the pieces together.
Yeah, you're starting to put
the puzzles.
I'm over here pinning up, from a.
You seem to be on your own right now.
Yeah,
that's why you're turning into a face.
Stop it. Stop. I don't know.
But I mean,
I will say there's been a UFO hanging outside my house though.
Uh-oh.
I don't know if it's UC's or not, but we'll figure it out.
Whoa. Ooh. Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. Or I may need to stop smoking that shit. You know what I mean? might have hit that joint a little.
That might have
happened. But who knows?
So Unnatural Causes.
Love those guys.
We respect them as tag team champions. Right. Are they in the match or are they defending their titles? What's going on with them? We haven't seen them. We haven't had a PLE in a long time.
Yeah, we just so fans understand, we are going to be going. We're not going to be doing every month now. We're going to be doing every other month. Gives a lot of the guys the time off. This is a young man's game, and we're not young guys yet. So, but before I got here, I got a lovely phone call from our PWR owner and general manager Diva D. And she wanted me. She told me that
was Kyle Steele in the background.
I don't know. I didn't hear anything. But who knows? He was probably out there mowing her grass in a stupid Speedo. Who knows? Who knows what that bozo's doing? Fuck him and his mustache-having-ass wife, too. Might get stabbed for that. His wife is dangerous. Miss Steele is the most dangerous. I'm afraid more.
We are staying. You're on your own here.
Okay, I want you guys to know that last comment is on me, not Brute Opinions. But remember, emails go to Brute Opinions. So we have... I'm supposed to announce that the UC Natural Causes is going to have their first ever title defense, and they're going to be being presented the tag team championship, the official ones we had. They hadn't shown up.
Well, they grabbed them off.
Yeah, the ones they grabbed off, we borrowed from. We beat up some guys in a parking lot that had them. We just
So they're getting presented. Who's presenting it to them?
The owner of our main sponsors, All Star Building Materials, Tom, is going to come out and present them with the official All Star Building Material Tag Team Championships.
All Star Building Materials has been a great sponsor.
Oh, great sponsor. Love Tom. He's not my biggest fan, but I get it. But
you may need to warn Tom about those guys,
the UC guys.
They might take him up.
Nah, they might, but they might be assholes. But they're not beating up an old man. They don't want to go to jail.
Oh, they might abduct him and take him out.
Nah, they might, but who knows?
No, we gave Unnatural in the last PLE, the ladder match for the tag team championships. As much as we like House of Spades, we thought that there was no other tag team deserving of that.
They're awesome.
I mean, I love House of Spades. Love Big Deal. Love those bozos.
Big Deal always entertains us.
Big Deal's a great. They are an entertaining bunch. And the Chad.
The Chad does unbelievable stuff off the rope.
And here's the thing: he's not even He's not even going 100. He's not going 100%. He'd be flipping off everything back, But
my daughter loved his socks.
Yeah, he does. He does be having some crazy socks, but. There's a lot going on. By the way, speaking of the last PLE, I have a bone to pick with both of you. You remember right after that ladder match, there was another match. It was Rob Kaiser versus Boomer. Flying Brian Kaiser. Rob Kaiser's his brother.
Yeah, we gave it mad props.
You gave Flying Brian Kaiser props. You did not give Boomer the credit he deserves.
We gave Boomer. I think you might need to listen to that podcast
I might have to,
again.
but listen, I will not. One thing I will stand on business is we will make sure that Boomer the God gets his Boomer damn flower.
You might have to listen to that podcast again because I actually gave Boomer mad credit that night and said that I have not been a fan of Boomer until that match.
All right.
And he impressed the hell out of me during that match.
All right, because I was told by some sources that you guys weren't, you guys praised Flying Brian Kaiser, and then we're like, oh yeah, here was Boomer, like he's some bum.
Yeah, you should.
Oh, by the way, I think rumor has it Boomer might be in that Rumble match.
Oh yeah,
he might be showing up. He's got this weird him being a god. He I don't want to call it teleporting, but he just happens to show up places.
You got to listen to that episode again because I actually gave that match was one of the matches.
The one you
night.
wanted the match of the night.
I actually specifically said that Boomer has never impressed me until that night. He changed my whole opinion of Boomer.
And I think we're always so impressed with Flying Brian Kaiser that it's that dude just shows up.
Human highlight reel.
Yeah, he's unbelievable.
Go ahead and listen to that episode.
I'll give it a listen again. Yeah. And maybe I was wrong, but
Boomer,
I will never admit it.
He's just an entitled asshole that wants to just talk shit all the time. That's all that's going on here.
But no, I actually...
He's starting to bust our balls.
I really did give Boomer credit that night because I thought that match was really good. I really did.
Yeah. I mean, it was a great match.
So you might want to listen.
I might have to. But the other thing...
calling me out.
Yeah, I have to.
Yeah.
If you lived in
Boomer, it was a great match.
All right, see,
obviously you heard.
Yeah.
I might have also got.
He's heard of the grapevine that maybe we did it
by Boomer in a back alley parking lot to make sure that was clarified. So I might
tell those brute opinion assholes.
Yeah, might have been. So here's the thing: I was throwing dice in an alley. No, it wasn't. No one would believe I was throwing dice in an alley.
No, I thought that match was really good.
Yeah,
I really liked what Boomer did in that match.
Since we're talking about wrestling and PWR, we do all know that our championship is now vacated.
That's right.
We had a retirement.
The champion retired.
Retired.
When a champion retires, we've got things going on. What are we having? Are we having a match? Are we having a tournament? What's going on?
So we are going to have a match.
Okay.
Determine for the vacated title, and one of the opponents is a fan. You're a big fan of. Alejandro Bravo.
Oh, I love all
What?
that.
Alejandro Bravo isn't even working for the company.
I don't know.
He's
I don't know.
fired.
When we got the company-wide email about this, that Bravo's coming back.
Blew your mind too. Like,
I was
holy
like-
shit, he's back.
First I was like, crap, he's back. So I said, well, crap, he's back. He might super kick me, and then realized I just told my twin brother to stay
He's
away.
gonna super kick your fucking head off.
He might. I try
what
to
Tori's
listen.
on
We
right
talked
now,
about
right?
the last time. When he shows up, I just try to get out of there. And I did appreciate Bravo for doing all the stuff he did, because I was like doing random stuff like shenanigans in the back, like just messing with people. But everybody was so.
Plus, he's the angriest man in wrestling. You don't want
Angry.
any part of
I
this.
told you.
You don't want any part of Alejandro Bravo.
No, we talked about me tagging
glad
with
that-
him. No, I stay away from him. When he shows up with his luggage, I just get the fuck on out of there.
I'm glad that PWR management wisened up and said,
I don't know
"We
if
need
they.
this guy."
I don't know-
DVD got too like out of her
DVD's out of hand. Firing people. I don't even think like so. Speaking of that, since we're talking about management, we talked about my entitlement clause, right?
Yeah.
That was in a legal binding contract. That's
And
like,
Tiberius just gets it out of nowhere.
gets it. She comes out and she's like, "Oh, hey, I'm taking away this for the you being a bozo on the internet." And I said, "Well, that's my thing, so okay." And then was like, "Oh, since you want to act entitled, I'm going to take your entitlement clause and you're going to put it up." And then I lost to Tiberius. I don't think he's the rightful owner of this. You can't own something that's in my contract. Like, do I need to get a lawyer involved in this?
Yeah.
I think I might.
Dude, we'll find one for you.
I got a
agree.
good one. He just lives in Colorado right now.
Well, I mean,
I'm just saying, like, how do you...
So
She
Alejandro
just pulls
Bravo
her weight too much, man.
really does.
Like, I love her. She's
and
done
now
some cool
Kyle
things.
Steele is buttering up to.
Buttering up to her. Like, listen, right now, PWR...
I don't trust her.
I don't either. And I don't trust that no good son of a bitch, Kyle Steele. And I will keep calling him that. Till he
Well, hold on, we
You know,
got
we-
off.
we
got
only
off
saw
on
him the
Alejandro
one time.
Bravo.
So, we'll go back to that, though. We'll go back. So, it's going to be Alejandro Bravo versus Kwame, was a Riot mainstay for a little while. Took some time off, retired for a little bit, had a family, decided, I'm going to come back. Did a couple things over at Riot. Apparently, PWR management was impressed. Some tape got sent over, so they made a couple phone calls, and now the co-main event, because the Rumble's going to be the main event, the co-main event will be Alejandro Bravo versus Kwame.
How does
For
that-
the
well,
PWR
for the
champion.
First, I've got a question for you.
Uh-huh.
How does that make you feel? Or,
Pissed
or
off.
maybe
The rest of the roster.
rest of the roster.
I don't know. The roster right now is a little upset about that, but one, a lot of them are afraid of one. Kwame's a nice guy, but he's big as fuck. Like he's a big dude, big jacked.
So
like,
they're gonna talk shit, but then when he shows up,
Yeah, yeah.
go get Bravo.
yeah. Like so, I don't know. Like
Is this Diva D? She found Kwame, and she obviously doesn't like Alejandro Bravo. Is this her way of like
I think
embarrassing Alejandro Bravo even more by like having this big jack dude? But I tell you, no matter how big you are, when you got the rage that Alejandro Bravo has, that son of a bitch will fucking take down anybody.
I know. Listen. I get it.
Alejandro, if you're listening, dude, you're coming on the podcast.
You're
man.
coming on the podcast.
Alejandro Bravo. If you're coming on this podcast, make sure I'm not around. 'Cause,
And
And we'll provide catering for you, no problem.
well,
we will roll out the red. We will
well,
roll
I
out
get
the
it,
red
I get
carpet for you.
I get it. Like, I'm not even mad. Like, Alejandro Bravo, y'all could have, like, catering. You could do it wherever he wants it at. You could do it at, a baseball game, golf, anywhere. I'm not trying to get super kicked by Bravo.
No.
Well,
that's-
was it? Then Alejandro Bravo was on another podcast.
Field Talk Sports. Love
Phil
Phil.
Sports, and they
True friend
they
of-
reference
I'm a
your
true
opinion.
friend of the
So
podcast.
I think
I'm like-
Alejandro Bravo knows about us. So
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
we're telling you right
So
now, we would
our
love to
buddy-
have you
our-
on.
Our boy Phil.
We want to
you
see
know,
what really went on your perspective of the DVD firing, like why she fired you, why you might be invited in. Is it shenanigans? Is it? We'll see.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it may, like you said,
we can't wait to see. We have not personally seen.
Yeah.
Oh,
Kwame
no.
wrestle.
And listen, let me tell you something. He's, like, tall, jacked. And, what was the,
a lot like you.
yeah, I'm not tall. Or jacked.
Oh.
Or
Oh,
black.
I thought you were just gonna say. I thought you were
So-
just gonna say you're not tall.
Yeah. But no.
None of the above.
None of the above. No. But that dude can move, like, and do things that you're like, whoa, crap, this dude is that big and that, like, jacked, and he's
Just an athletic specimen.
they built Kwame in a lab.
Yeah.
That
I'm-
played football, Like, did a bunch of other stuff. Like, I think he was like a 3-star athlete. Like, he was a 4-star athlete somewhere. Multiple sport athlete.
See, 3-star. 3-star doesn't sound too good.
Yeah.
4-star sounds better.
Yeah. No, he was such a good 3-star. They were like, they considered
We
him.
need to add a star.
They added an extra star. He might have also been big enough to threaten a couple guys. So, but no, he's great. I've seen him at Riot. He gave oh crap, I can't think of his name. Ali, the big dude that Shane wrestled in the tournament, gave him a blue thunder bomb.
Wow.
And I sat there like, it was amazing. I think it'll be absolutely a hands down barn burner. Yeah. And who knows? My money's on Kwame, but like you said, like you know, you might be big, but Bravo can move. Bravo might beat him on the speed. You know, big doesn't always mean.
And he has that mentality. Like Bravo doesn't take
the one
shit,
thing with
man.
Alejandro Bravo from, you know, the first night that we came to a PWR show, you could just tell that there was something different about Bravo.
Oh,
there was an intensity, there was a professionalism, there was somebody that you could tell could be the champion.
Was amazing in the ring. Was
and
everything
we all
about
know,
him.
especially you being in the, you know, a lot of people say the belt is just a prop.
Yeah.
But it's a prop.
We talked about
it's a prop on the person that's supposed to carry your company.
Yeah, you got it.
And I feel like Bravo could be that guy.
Right, and like you gotta when you put your you know, like everybody says, you can't put the championship on everybody. There's plenty of people who deserve the championship, but they just won't be champion.
We talked about it in this podcast
a couple episodes ago.
Night one of WrestleMania, no belt. It was the best story that came out of WrestleMania. No belt.
Yeah, nobody lost the belt. That's what also made Gunther losing his championship to Jay such a shocking thing. Everybody thought, well, nobody lost belts last time.
But he got that back.
Yeah, he got that back.
But like,
we're gonna go into that in a minute.
So as an independent wrestler and doing what you're doing, like just as a wrestler in general, like the belt obviously is accolades, it's everything, but being over or having straight heat, that must mean more to you than any like title that gets thrown on you.
Yeah, I mean, Bravo walks in a room and gets booed. He made a child cry once, probably multiple times. I was at a Riot show when Chris Carnage and Everett Lee, because the announcer, were joining up, and Everett Lee's daughter was sitting in the crowd. Alejandro Bravo came out. She had a sign that said, "I love my dad, Everett Lee." He ripped it up into like confetti and threw it in her face. She cried.
Perfect.
Chris Carnage came out, tried to console her when he came out. She was unconsolable. Her dad came out, and he was still unconsolable. And Bravo didn't care. Bravo looked at that child and said, "I don't care."
That's.
I might have laughed. I might have.
I can't wait to see this. I mean, are these? So we have that match happening. We have the Rumble match. We have the women's match and
Tag team championships.
Tag team championships. We might have a couple other little things thrown in there. You know, some fun stuff. You know, we always, you know.
Yeah.
We'll have RJ doing the announcing.
RJ's great.
We love RJ.
As long as he calls you the.
I'd actually like to have him.
It's actually at this
point.
point.
Hey RJ, I'd like to have you on the podcast.
Oh,
sometime.
RJ's great. Like, I think at this point he's just doing it to make fun of me and not pronounce my name right. So.
And I genuinely did it on accident, and it was perfect.
It was great. RJ does it. He announced me over at Riot as Lady Lips one time, and I about had to I had to correct him. We're the same height, so I had to correct him in the back.
So yeah, no, I'm looking forward to Ascension.
Me too.
Me and Phil might be doing a little live commentary, so it's going to be something pretty cool. Is there?
Are you in the lab? Are you training? Are you?
Sure, yeah. Let's go with that.
Are you in the same lab as Kwame?
No. No.
Are you just?
I tried. They said no.
Are you just putting the plan together, like how I'm gonna do it?
Yeah, I just got a plan. Like, I've been scouting everybody, you know.
You always seem to have a plan. That's
listen,
the one thing about the Entitled Millennial.
I learned this.
He always has a plan.
I
don't know if it's Seth Rollins, like the architect, but it's like.
There we go. My favorite wrestler. One of my favorites.
So now you're going to be the architect?
Nah, who knows? I might just be scheming, you know, like you guys, listen, we talked about it last time. You can't go into a match and not study what the people you got. There's a lot of people on that poster.
Or the advantages that you can take.
Right. But there's also, there's a few people they haven't announced yet. You know, quite. They're bringing in some people from They're bringing
Yeah, you have no idea who's going to show up at that Rumble.
So
that's
there's
the beauty of a Rumble. When that buzzer goes off, anybody could walk out of that.
Anybody could walk out.
Do you think Triple H thought John Cena was coming out number 30 at Madison Square Garden?
No.
No way.
No way.
I mean, that's a great thing. Do we think Edge was coming back?
No. Do we think Christian was coming back?
Alexa Bliss was
Do
coming
you think
back?
Joe Henry was showing up?
No.
Yeah, I mean, these are the beauties of a Rumble match.
And it's one of my favorite
great.
things because, like, I'm not going to know, you know, like, there's a few. Oh, we are going to. There's another match that's not been announced yet.
When someone comes on the buzzer, when someone comes out, they're probably going to be coming for you.
Yeah, more likely.
No matter who it is.
And again, I'm not surprised.
Maybe somebody from Tennessee. You never know.
Right, you never know. A bunch of cousin kissers.
Oh.
By the way, we discussed this earlier. Since we're talking about states, I I hate the whole state of Ohio. They can fuck right off too. I'm all right. Like South states, I love Georgia. I love Tennessee. You know, they might kiss their cousins, but I love Mississippi. I love Alabama. You know, I love all. But then this new
seems like you love a lot of the southern states.
Yeah, for being grew up in the South. Listen, who wants to go watch a college football game in Ohio when it's possibly going to be like -3 when you can watch that same game at like the University of Alabama, the University of Florida,
75 degrees.
75. It might be 90.
The swamp. I mean,
Yeah.
Early on the season, it's hot.
Yeah.
By the end of it,
you get to the middle of the
beautiful.
season. You know, like you go to like October, mid-October night games in the South. Like it's better than Penn State.
Money.
But then there's a new state they want to get involved. The state of Wisconsin. They get a little bit of power, and then they went mad with it. Mad with power. So, you guys know, friend of your guys, Chris Carnage, right? Me and him were supposed to have a match.
Yep.
And he no-showed it. Said he was in a medical facility, but although I've seen him at the Culver's down the street after the show, so much for a medical facility.
Wow, this is a callback from
Eating double cheeseburgers.
Then, hang on. Next PLE, who did he wrestle? Death Mark. Not me. Not anybody. Not anything. Didn't wrestle me. Was healthy enough to wrestle, but couldn't wrestle me. So he ran.
He had a little run-in with Bravo, too, didn't he?
Yeah,
that was the night Bravo got fired.
Yeah, that was the night, and then they threw his luggage in a lake. He deserved that one, though. But hang on. So then, Chris Carnage, left PWR, right? Mm-hmm. Don't know what happened. Might have been scared of me. Took his ball. Might have got upset about it.
Has to be the reason.
Has to be the reason. Took his ball and went home.
Why else would you leave PWR?
Right.
Because
he was the number one signee. They wasted their number one signee on him. He's like the Ryan Leaf of PWR now.
Holy shit.
Whoa.
The Ryan Leaf.
Leaf call.
Chris, man, that's tough.
Like, imagine.
This guy
imagine you're like,
that.
I'm going to build this promotion around their number one signee, and then he leaves. I've still been there, right?
You're the Peyton Manning.
I'm the Peyton Manning. I'm the Tom Brady.
You're the Peyton Manning of to his Ryan Leaf.
Yeah, he's Ryan Leaf. I'm Peyton Manning.
You're a Hall of Famer.
I will be. If I'm not inducted to the PWR Hall of Fame first,
What are we doing? What are we doing here?
I'm throwing Alejandro Bravo's luggage in the.
I mean, your banner should be hanging from the
There
ceiling of OBs.
Yeah,
the only one I think might get ahead of you is Kyle Steele.
Get the fuck out of here. Stand out. Stand out. Star.
Yeah, standing out.
Watching Ironside wrestle. If they show up in that Rumble, just know I'm fucked.
You are.
Fucked.
You are.
I am absolutely boned with all. But yeah, so Chris Carnage, right?
Hey, if Boomer shows up in it, I'm fucked.
Yeah, you're fucked. You're a legend.
Boomer, I love you.
I love Boomer too. Instead of saying "God damn it," I say "Boomer damn it" now. It's a great thing.
Nice.
So, but back to Chris Carnage. So, while he's been over at Riot, been a couple other places, he likes to go to Wisconsin to go to this Mad with Power Fest, right? So they did this rip-off Wish version of I Believe in, the Joe Hendry song, I Believe in Joe Hendry. You didn't clap, you fucks.
Oh.
Yeah, there we go. We're a little late. Let's try it again. I believe in Joe Hendry. There we go. So they did a rip-off Wish version of I Believe in Chris Carnage, right? So he's got I Believe in Chris Carnage merch. So I said, no one believes in Chris Carnage. It didn't lie. Ain't saying anything ridiculous. It's just plain facts. Nobody cares about Chris Carnage. Mm-hmm. Where's he been? No one cares. So I happened to mention that. Well, apparently the whole state of Wisconsin loves themselves some Chris Carnage. And they're like, why would you talk about this? We did like to disagree. Would you like to smoke? It's like, well, yeah. Fuck you and the state of Ohio. If my end goal is I beef with all those mid-tier flyover states, Midwest states, I don't care. Because nobody cares about those states. Cheeseheads, Wisconsin. What do they got? Green Bay. And look, your best quarterback.
Cheese curd eating assholes.
Bunch of cheese curd eating fucks. Your best quarterback left to go play for the Jets. Now plays for the Steelers. Although I won't hold that one with you because he's gone. So
both their best quarterbacks went.
Right. Yeah, both quarterbacks went to play for the Jets.
Favre too.
Brett Favre just knew when to hang it up.
Right.
But
all he's got to do is go play for the Vikings, and then we got the full circle moment there.
Yeah.
But yeah, they want to get involved, and so but Chris Carnage may or may not be at Resolute Pro at the same time I am. That's the rumor flying around. But they're saying he's not coming alone either. I know.
Oh.
I know. Like, we've got unfinished business, and I want Chris Carnage to know it'd be a goddamn shame if something happened to you during your match or before.
No.
Wow.
It'd be a goddamn shame if something happened.
This is real words, real truth coming out of Forrest.
Christopher.
This is the most serious I've ever seen Forrest.
Christopher, I dare you to be at Resolute on June 20th at the same time I am. I will make it my life goddamn mission to make sure you never walk out of Resolute Pro. And allegedly you're not coming alone, so you better make sure your tag team partner is somebody worth a fuck. See you around town, buddy.
Wow.
Go
Resolute Pro. If you're in the area, you better be going to that show.
Listen, Crossville, Tennesseans. I may say...
Caleb Courageous, are you ready for all this?
I don't know if Caleb... Washed up, bum. Have you heard his subcon?
It sounds like you're going up there to handle business.
I'm going to absolutely...
This is a business trip for you.
This is a business trip for me.
You know, I know that you, as the Entitled Millennial, you don't have a lot of friends. You may want to put a couple people in that car with you going up there. And Brute Opinions are your friend, but we're no wrestlers.
Yeah, no.
I don't know if we're taking that trip to Tennessee.
You know, I might bring my cousin Louie, you know, the Louisville Slugger.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
I might have to, and if I go up there talking too much shit, I might have to, like, sneak out of that venue because they might bust my windows out. And I'm going to be having a rental, and I can't have that.
Hey, there's nothing, you know... You're not living until you're running from a venue.
Right, yeah. You're not living. But like I said, I'm stealing something out of Resolute Pro. So I'm taking something.
So for you, is it cool, like going up to Tennessee and doing all this? Like you love like going and doing other promotions?
I love going to other promotions. I love doing all of that. Like, it's great to see, like, when you get to, you know, I'm actually excited not only for the wrestling, but for the trip. Like, I get to get out of Florida for, like, a couple of days, you know. I mean, I'm obviously going to be sad, you know. Got friends, family, and my daughter. I'm not going to see my daughter for a whole weekend, which breaks my heart. And, you know, but, like, I get to see, like, I'm going to be able to drive through Georgia, Tennessee. You know, I'm driving through Georgia.
Yeah.
See,
the good states.
The good states.
At least you don't have to drive through Ohio.
Yeah. Somebody asked me about a booking in Ohio, and I told them my rate. It doubled.
But yeah, like being on the road, like going and doing other things, working with other people outside of like what you normally are doing.
Probably experiencing how another company does business.
Yeah, it's definitely good to see that, you know. And
you can bring that back to PWR.
Yeah, you can bring that.
They do this really well.
Yeah, they do this, they do that. I mean, Resolute does bi-weekly shows, and they do great numbers. Like, they're selling out, they're doing great things. I mean, as much as I dislike Caleb Courageous, I can't say anything bad about Resolute Pro in itself. Like, they're consistently like selling out, like standing room only. Like, you can't. I mean,
Tennessee's had really good success over the
Tennessee
years.
wrestling.
I mean, Johnsonville. I mean, with Chris
Memphis.
Jericho, Don Callis, like that whole north part of Tennessee in the early stages. Lance Storm.
Yeah,
like those guys all wrestled.
What was that? Smoky Mountain Wrestling.
Yeah, the Johnsonville, Tennessee. Like that is up by Damascus, Virginia. Like, that is an area that you wouldn't imagine these Canadian guys coming from.
Oh yeah, it's like that's one of the other things I'm excited about is like I get to experience Tennessee wrestling. Like, that is some like Memphis style, like Tennessee style of wrestling.
And as a fan of wrestling, as from a kid, that
must
mean everything to be able to go up there and wrestle.
Oh yeah, like to see the parts that like back in the day, you'd have these small venues that they would like bring like Smoky Mountain, the random one-off shows here and there, or like random pop-up Tennessee like territories. Like I'm like as a wrestling fan, I'm like marking out like I get to be like. And like Lawler from the Lawler like style, like.
Do you know much about the venue that you're wrestling?
It is at the Armory in Crossville.
Just sounds cool.
It does. Like it is the. I've seen the.
Whenever you're gonna wrestle at the Armory, no matter where the Armory is.
Yeah, no, and I don't care as long as it's not the Armory in Ohio or Wisconsin.
Yeah,
true. Good point.
But also too, like going up there and getting even more connections with different people. You guys can. Like, hey, come on down to PWR.
Yeah, that's...
Like, hey,
I gotta be careful with the things I say, because, I might see those folks at PWR, or I might go back up there. You gotta be, like,
who knows? We might have a mysterious entrant in the Rumble.
Right, we don't know.
The high voltage Rumble.
Yeah, bring one of those bozos in. It'd be exciting.
Yeah.
There's a rumor flying around that Caleb Carasis might be coming back to PWR, though.
I'm a big fan. I liked his match.
I mean him and Jeff tore down the house.
Yeah, it was one of the best matches of the night that night. I'm losing track because there's been so many PLEs.
Yeah,
I can't remember exactly which one it was. I want to say.
Was that Shamrock Slamboree? I think it was.
It could have been.
No, yeah, that was Shamrock Slamboree because that's when I took on the former champion.
Yeah. And
side note, I'm the last person. I'm the last person to go to Lariat Country.
That's true. That's true.
I can't have. I don't have very many accolades, but that's one I got.
That's one, and
that's
awesome.
I'm keeping that.
I don't know if I advertise that one too much. I don't know if I put that on your bio.
I got other things in there that I'm.
So we've talked about PWR. We've talked about the future of Forrest Nystrom. We've talked about the High Voltage Championship and how much Boomer hates me. And all that stuff. We've talked about the current state of WWE as we're watching it. I'm assuming this is a fatal four-way King of the Ring.
Yeah, we got
Carmelo Hayes, Randy Orton, LA Knight. I don't know who the fourth guy is. He must not be doing much. Aleister Black.
I love Aleister Black.
Me too.
So we got a lot going on in WWE. But what about WWE's quote-unquote competition? They're gearing up for their big All-In Texas.
Mm-hmm.
We had a shocker of a moment where all indications showed that Will Ospreay was going to be the next, essentially the champion of AEW and take down Moxley. And we got a surprise showing of Hangman Page winning that. And now we've got a little scenario with Swerve. Are we going to finally get the belt out of the briefcase at all?
If we don't get the goddamn...
What else are we doing, right? I always say this to KT. You're writing stories for WrestleMania. If you don't pay him off at WrestleMania, then what the fuck are you doing?
Why is the...
All In is their WrestleMania.
Yes, All In is their WrestleMania. What the... If we don't get that briefcase, or that title out of that briefcase, I'm throwing that I'm going to take that title and throw it in the fucking river. Like I love AEW.
Stone Cold Rock style?
Yeah, I might just fuck it. Steal it out of the fucking limo, Chris Jericho. No, like it needs to be off of Jon Moxley. As much as like I get like the whole angle was that the rumor was that they set up that whole Death Riders thing because they were gonna bring in Shane McMahon and then that never happened and like they didn't have anything to do. But like if you don't pay it off with Hangman winning the title, then you're done. You've done all this for fucking nothing. You wasted time, money, and energy and effort on people.
Which has been kind of
their MO.
The MO of AEW.
For 5 years, that's what they do. Like, they set up all these storylines. And, like, I know a lot of people got mad when Hangman was coming back and he had the whole Dark Order behind him and he didn't win. Bronson Reed interferes.
What is Bronson Reed doing out there?
Because LA Knight interfered with the...
Oh, and here comes Braun.
He's going to screw him out of it. So this is setting up for SummerSlam.
Boom.
Or maybe Night of Champions. Or,
yeah, probably.
Carmelo was just like, I'm good. I'm going to go off to the side.
I'm good.
He did a Forrest deal. He's like, I'm not going to
get involved. Yeah, that might, hey, I took taking notes, Carmelo Hayes.
But, I feel like AEW's All-In show, there's a lot
RKO.
RKO into a frog splash.
there's a... Oh, man, sorry.
Randy moves on.
Randy moves
In the
That was
tournament.
good finish.
Good finish.
So there is a, All In is, in my opinion, a very important show for AEW moving forward.
Right.
You not only have the belt in the briefcase, is Hangman Page, is Osprey and Swerve going to help him win that? Are they going to take down Wheeler and I always call him Cesaro. I can't call him Cesaro and Shafir. The girl's awesome, by the way.
Oh yeah, I like Shafir. Claudio Castagnoli. Sorry, I know him more as Claudio Castagnoli from his ROH.
From his first time, yeah.
Yeah.
And and then we've got everything that's going on with the Hurt Syndicate and what's happening with MJF being a part of that whole situation.
The MVP singlet, MJ lifestyle singlet or whatever. I was losing it. No, I like that.
It's a big turning point for that company.
It is.
Are they going to be not a joke, or are they going to conclude some of these?
It's the best thing on AEW is the Hurt Syndicate. But look who you got in it. You've got MVP Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley, all three long time, especially MVP and Shelton Benjamin, longtime veterans of the industry. Yeah. Like if they're not Jim Cornette said it the best. If they're not writing their own storylines, then what the fuck are we doing? Yeah. They need to be writing their own storylines.
And you've got one of the best heels I think the two best heels in the entire wrestling industry right now are Dominic Mysterio and
MJF. And you can't
KT?
Yeah,
MJF's
unbelievable.
I think we've seen MJF's history. He'll get with a group and then he uses it for what he needs to. But I don't think you can do that with the Hurt Syndicate. I don't think you can just use them to get to what you need and then bail out on them because those are some big.
To be honest with you, I'm actually surprised that he's in this storyline.
I honestly didn't think he was going to. I wasn't sure about Bobby.
I think he's bigger than this.
I don't think he's bigger than this. He is, but you need him to be with somebody right now.
Are we gonna see him?
He's got. If you want to talk about,
see him eventually on WWE TV.
If you do, you're not gonna see the MJF you see now.
I don't. Yeah, he's not a WWE corporate.
Yeah, he's not a corporate guy.
Will he play the game? Will he play the game?
I don't know if he'll play the game.
Literally.
Will
he play the game?
Will he play the game?
Yeah, will he play by the rules?
Yeah, will he play by the rules? I don't think he will because I think that's one of the things he likes about AEW. He can go out there and call the fans.
It's kind of
fans
funny.
a bunch of jabroni marks.
It's kind of funny looking back at it now, like looking back at like when we were growing up. WCW, it seemed like the wrestlers had more say in what was going on in WWE.
And it eventually killed them.
Yeah, and AEW seems the same way. We've talked about it a bunch of times on this podcast. How even Cody has said it. Even other people have said when they started it, it was great, but then everyone wanted to have their own say. But WWE, because they're so consistent and professional, that machine just keeps running.
Yeah,
and they can always replace superstars and people. But there's great wrestling, there's great stories here, but they're not paying off on what needs to be paid off on.
AEW has always prided themselves on wrestling.
Yeah.
The matches, wrestling and matches.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And WWE has the ability to tell a story.
They're movies, they're Hollywood, they're fucking...
Exactly. They're cinema. And we haven't really touched much on this. I know it came on earlier at the opening of SmackDown, but AAA Mexico is now acquired by.
Did you watch that pay-per-view?
I've seen matches of it. Yeah.
Oh, that's a hands down.
But
that was a pay-per-view.
I knew it was going to be great.
Oh yeah.
But it goes back
Spot
to
monkey bullshit. I loved it.
The old great Lucha Underground, which was one of my favorite shows in the history of wrestling, was Lucha Underground.
I loved Lucha Underground,
and it was just because it was a cinematic story.
That's where Jeff Cobb got to start.
Yeah. You mean JC Mateo?
Oh yeah. I hate it.
But Penta, we talked about it on this podcast. Penta and Chelsea Green had an intergender match that was one of the most violent matches.
Oh yeah,
that you could ever have.
That was domestic violence.
And she was asking for more, right?
They were like, let's run it back in WWE, and it's like, no, that ain't never happening on WWE TV.
No,
you're not gonna have a man beat the hell out of a woman on TV.
By the way,
he might have him beat him up outside the venue. But...
By the way, KT, he hates Lucha Libre. But he loves him some Penta.
I don't hate Lucha
Libre. How do you hate Lucha Libre?
He's not a fan. It was a harsh word.
Yeah, I just
You don't like that style? You don't like the...
See, he doesn't like the masks, I think. Because you can't...
I understand everything about it. I understand the culture. I understand, like, the reasoning behind it all.
Loves him some Penta.
I fucking love Penta. Like, I've never been a Rey Mysterio fan.
Okay.
Never been, like...
I'm really only... Like, okay, I'll say this honestly. I was really a Rey... I mean, granted...
Appreciate what he was.
Yeah. I was also a big fan of Rey Mysterio because we're about the same height. So
Right.
And you know, like if you haven't, like I talked about it last time, if you haven't seen Rey Mysterio versus Eddie Guerrero,
oh yeah,
it's a great match. But like I get it. I know a lot of people who don't like you don't understand the mask thing. There's very few like non-mask wrestlers. Like I get the whole thing. Did you guys see on AEW where they MJF called the one guy? He called him sloppy.
Yes.
It was great. Sloppy Sin Cara.
I've always respected what they do.
Yeah.
I'm just never like, I'm like, those aren't my like guys. Like
Yeah.
I don't tune into
I
that.
seen one. I think it was Triple A. He ran down the ramp, jumped onto the top rope on one corner, jumped over to the other, and then moonsaulted to the outside. And I'm like, I would have made to the second rope and died.
You would have tripped down.
But I'll say the same thing.
I might have.
I'll say the same thing about Luchas. Like I
would have been gassed because I've got little legs, so it's like he took like 7. I would have taken like 90.
I was never a big cruiserweight fan. Like I think because when I
like,
grew up watching
Billy
wrestling,
Kidman and
how can you say that? How could you say you were not a fan of the cruiserweight division? It's what defined WCW. Like that's what.
But he loved the X division, which was
the same thing. It was the knockoff. It was
it's
like
just,
if you
it's
ordered
just the players in
I
it.
think it was just. It's not. I think it was exactly. It was.
It's the players in it. It's who I relate
X
to.
division. You had
And
AJ Styles. You had Christopher Daniels. You had Chris Sabin. You had Alex Shelley. Those were your
and
original.
for me,
who was the one? Kenta.
yeah.
For me, thinking about wrestling, like
Who's the original guy?
my favorite all time.
Kenta's
was,
original. He was always Kenta, and then he became Shohei or Tom. No, not Shohei.
He plays for the Dodgers.
He plays for the Dodgers. That was.
I don't.
I'm
agree
just
with Vince,
sorry.
but I'm a Vince guy.
I am mind boggled on the statement. You were not a fan of the cruiserweight division.
I think he meant to say that he was not a fan of the certain wrestlers in.
Because we had Chris Benoit, the Man of 1,000 Holds. We had.
I don't consider them cruiserweights though.
La Parka. Go what? They were the cruiserweight division there.
It was different back then. It was like the TNA or not TNA championship, the TV championships and like those different things back. I'm talking back like early '90s, like late '80s, like.
Yeah, I get a lot of people.
You know what I'm saying? Like
I know a lot of people's thing was.
I appreciate everything they do. I just
all gas, no brakes.
I'm like, I guess I'm a bigger picture guy. Like I like looking at like Hogan was my guy. Like when I was a kid, like Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, Macho Man, like those guys. Like I like the bigger card. Like I don't.
So you're a Vince?
For me personally, yeah, I'm a Vince guy. I'm not a fan of Vince, but like
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
Good.
He likes big guys. He likes big guys.
Yeah. So I get why you're a fan of Ironside. Like, I get it. Like, everybody's, like, that's one of my favorite things about wrestling is, like, some guys love, like, the Cruiserweight, X Division, like, all that high flying.
They love it better than the heavyweight
you know, and then, you know, some guys are like, hey, I like the big heavyweight division, you know, I want to see, you know, as Big E put it, I want to see 2 big men slapping meat, you know? 2 meaty men slapping meat.
My biggest thing as a kid, too, is I love the tag team division. I think the tag team in wrestling now is just shit. It's just shit across the board.
It is shit across the board. I mean...
And they try, but they never put any attention to it to make it good. It drives me crazy because I love the Rockers. I love fucking the Heart Foundation. I loved Demolition. I loved fucking the Road Warriors. I loved
the Warriors.
Like all those tag teams back in the day.
Midnight Express.
Yeah.
I could watch Midnight Express tag matches all day.
I love factions. Like,
I
love the big story of it all.
The original Survivor Series format.
Yeah. Oh, Survivor Series is my favorite. Is my actual favorite.
I love a good Survivor.
But I can't watch it anymore because it's not the same. The original format.
Now it's War Games.
Yeah, I don't like a War Game. I mean, okay,
I like War Games.
The match is awesome, but
give me a traditional Survivor Series match.
Yes.
PWR management. Why don't we have a Survivor Series?
Where guys who aren't supposed to be linked team up, and then they form this like little faction for a while. And then
before we end this, I want to ask Forrest one thing about we talked about AEW. Oh yeah, I talked about AEW. What was your thoughts on the Mayhem in the Arena match?
I never hated the Mayhem in the Arenas match, but their best one was when they did it in Jacksonville Stadium and they were just all over.
Oh, yeah.
During like the COVID era.
This last one wasn't terrible. Especially when they started playing when the bodies hit the floor.
Right. Why they were doing.
Swerve took the fucking staple gun to his tongue.
Jesus, that's just that man is insane. Like, stop doing just. See, that's when I get annoyed with like certain okay, when they do like I was a fan of the like hardcore division, WWE hardcore matches, and I've done a couple of like hardcore, and I've done a couple of death matches, and I'm all right with them. But like when you're just doing
death match is a whole different.
Oh, death matching is fun actually. I mean, I get it. The whole thing is to like kill your opponent. Not really, but like.
To make it seem.
But like it's like when I see people like, oh, I'm gonna light this like GCW, I'm gonna light this table on fire and then I'm gonna throw some bozo through it. Like, no, like
and then hit him with a fluorescent tube.
Yeah. On the way down. He's just gonna jump into the tube on his way down. But no, like when they do those types of matches, like the Anarchy and the Arena matches, and like he's just like, oh, like now if he stapled like a card to some dude's head or like a piece of paper, like that's cool. But like you're just stapling your tongue because people are gonna pop for it. Like,
yeah. I thought it was cool. I mean, AEW needed to catch some attention.
Yeah.
But dude, typical Forrest episode. We're well over an hour. We could keep going forever. And that's going to lead me to another thing.
We're going to have him back.
But let's finish this episode. Forrest, the stage is yours. You've got a huge couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about your final talk. Whose ass are you going to kick? Whose ass is coming for you? And where are they coming?
Before we do that, can I plug? Are we talking about?
You can do anything you want.
All right,
this is your moment.
All right, I'm gonna plug a match that we talked about earlier before we came on. It's Noah Vale versus John Davis at the River City Con. If you've not watched that on YouTube, look up Noah Vale versus John Davis. That match tore the house down.
And what promotion are they with?
They both kind of do different things.
What was this match with?
This match was
River City. You said
River City Con, WrestleCon.
Good independent wrestling.
Good independent wrestling. They do it down there. There was a 2-day show down there, and it absolutely I give Noah flowers. Give them their flowers. Like, he's the king of Florida. I'm gonna say it here live on the podcast. He's the king of Florida now.
You sent me that match before we went on.
Yeah,
and I will definitely watch it.
It is a hands down barn burner. People coming for me. There's a lot. Caleb Courageous, after he sees this, he's probably gonna whoop my ass. Try to whoop my ass.
As long as he doesn't associate KT and JP with you, then I'm okay with
right.
We don't need anybody coming.
We like him, but we don't like him that much, Caleb.
Shit about,
we like him, but we don't like him that much.
Don't come after these two bozos. Come after this main bozo,
and
right?
Boomer, we love you.
Yes, Boomer, I love you too. We got Ascension. There's probably a lot of people gunning for me. As we talked earlier.
Everybody in that match is gunning for you.
I mean, everybody. But I mean, also you got to remember, it's a Rumble match. So they might, so there's a couple of people out there that might be like, hey, let's just work together for a little while. But I got to keep my, my head on the swivel, because I've seen that too. Time up, and the next thing I know, I'm getting yeeted over the front.
And you want to be the high voltage champion.
I need to be the high voltage champion.
I like it.
Hey, we need to see some gold around you.
That's the next thing. The next time I come on, if
you gonna wear it front, or you gonna
I'll wear.
I might.
Where are you gonna go, Cena?
I might.
If you shoulder strap it, I'm gonna be pissed.
No, I might do the like.
I'm gonna be pissed.
I might do the one where they're just like
strap.
hanging off of like right here, so you don't really see the full title unless you like whoop. But I don't know. Me with a title like over shoulder or like over the shoulder or backwards, I wouldn't do all that. But
Jesus, is Zelina Vega wearing it?
Honor the tradition.
No. Yeah. But so we have a lot of people that are going to be gunning for me. I mean, there's also other people going to be gunning for other people. I told you who I'm going for. Yeah. Kyle Steele. Like we need to.
Kyle Steele, watch the fuck out.
We need to finish this.
Diva D ain't going to be able to protect you.
Yeah, once you get in that ring, Diva D's not going to be able to protect you. So you might have to bring your little buddy, the guy you carry bags for, I joke.
Wow.
I randomly put an email. I called him Iron Size Bag Boy one time, and then I had a meeting with HR. Wonder how that happened, but we need to finish this. Sometime, somehow. Maybe we don't finish it here at the Rumble, but this needs to end. I've got other bigger and better things to deal with than deal with you.
I know. I want to see this interaction in the ring.
Right.
At the Rumble. I'm going to have a front row seat to it. So
right.
Jay's going to be commentating it, maybe.
Looking forward to
possibly.
it. But is there any sponsors that are?
Oh yeah, I gotta
want to talk about start times. OBs.
We're gonna be at OB's Lounge. We're gonna be June 28th.
Great venue.
Start time is 6:00. We're pushing it a little back. You know, it gets hot out here in Florida.
It's hot.
So we're gonna push it back a little
So that
bit.
Rumble match hopefully will be under the lights. Maybe
We'll be under the lights. Like just like Daytona, running under the lights, baby. You know, we do have. You know, we got the tag match. We got.
Like heard her say
And
their
then
name,
we've got the women's match. JC Black first.
There's your girl, KT Jade Cargill. Sorry.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah,
She
okay.
kind of distracts us.
Let her beat me up.
Okay.
We got JC Black versus Lizzie B. I don't know if the B stands for Borden or maybe it stands for boring. I'm not sure. We'll find out. And then there is another match going to be announced here soon. You know, maybe some, you know, the newcomer, maybe, you know, and then we also have the title match versus, you know, Alejandro Bravo versus the new guy, Kwame.
Title match sounds exciting.
Yeah,
The Rumble
I
sounds
mean,
exciting.
honestly,
Everything sounds
like,
exciting.
I'm gonna be like,
can't miss event.
if you see me standing if you see me sitting in the crowd before the Rumble, during the heavyweight title shot, don't pay attention to me. I'm just scouting, you know.
He's
But
entitled.
yeah, I get to do what I want, kind of ish.
And you're looking for your next victim.
Yeah.
No,
But if it's Alejandro Bravo, I'm gonna go.
now we are looking forward to Ascension. I'm looking forward to sitting ringside and hanging out with my buddy Phil and talking some wrestling. And we're looking for all the surprises, the fun, everything that's going to be happening.
But none of this would be possible without our lovely sponsors.
Absolutely.
We've got our main sponsor. We talked about them. All Star Building Material. You know, they sponsor the they've been
a great sponsor.
They've been a great sponsor. Like they're letting us, you know, they're the reason we're able to put these shows on. Like, you know, them and
People don't realize how much this takes.
Yeah, how much it takes. We've got Koa Construction. They're great sponsors. We've also got, you know, your boy Phil Talk Sports. Been on his podcast a couple times. Been on there once. Need to go on there another time. And then we've got Top Rope Photography. Takes all of our photos. Lovely.
Does a great job.
Right. You know, that Brady Gibson dude takes a lot of photos. Takes great photos. Makes me look good. Also, if you have an event coming up and you need photos, wedding, graduation, anything, a reunion, you know, your
Portraits, family portraits.
Family portraits.
Or wrestling.
Or a wrestling event too. He also does wrestling. Or if you have
sporting
soccer,
event,
soccer,
football, kids, whatever.
Right. Or you just want him to take photos of you beating up your baby daddy. That's fine too. He'll do it too. We also have, you know, Ideal Motors. I don't know much about them. I apologize. I didn't really research them, you know.
But they're a great sponsor.
They're a great sponsor. We love them. You know who our biggest sponsor is though? The fans.
Yeah.
They, without, like, hands down, without them.
Everyone that turns up to OBs.
Everybody shows up to OBs. Everybody comes out to any event. Support, like, please, just come support. Like, whether you're here to cheer me, cheer for people, or boo me out of the building. I don't care. The cash is on, the check is still the same.
Booing them out of the building is way more fun.
Anyone listening, like, not just PWR, but any independent wrestling, if you're in the middle of fucking Wisconsin, go support those people. No, but
I mean,
support
hey,
the scene.
If you run a promotion in Wisconsin, please holler at me. I'll come wrestle in that dump of a state. I will wrestle in Wisconsin. Now, if you run a promotion,
you're gonna boo the shit out of him,
and if you,
he will love it.
The best thing to come out of Wisconsin is Russell Wilson.
Ooh. Okay.
The JJ Watt fans are going to be mad right now. But yes, again, the fans, like, we can't do, like, we do all of this. Yes, we have the main sponsor.
All for you.
We have all of our financial sponsors, but one of our biggest sponsors, like, as wrestlers, is the fans. Like, if we were to go out there to be an empty building, it's just
you got to perform for someone, right?
Yeah, we got to perform for someone, you know. I mean, you can't support yourself, you know, you can't support this craft without going to, like, not only to come to PWR, OB's is a great venue,
it's
but
awesome.
Also support your local independent wrestling promotion near you, whether it's Resolute Pro, IWF, PWR,
across the board,
ALW, or whatever. Anybody, go support them. Go pay your money to go see them. Take the kids. Unless it's on June 28th, then you should be at us.
Everyone that you see on TV started independent wrestling.
Yeah, they were wrestling at bingo halls. Yep. Or at a bar. Yep. Or at a place like OB's. And, like, that's the best part. Like, please come support us. Like, let's show the Central Florida scene that DeLand is here and on the map, and we are here to show you we mean fucking business.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a great product. It really is.
And if you want to sponsor us,
yeah,
send an email over to reach out to our social media pages, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. TikTok, send us a message. If you own a business and you want us to come wrestle there, we'll wrestle there too. I will wrestle at any place as long as the check you pay me in cash or that it's not a personal check. Had a guy bounce one time. I had to chase him out of a parking lot. Very.
So once again, another phenomenal episode 30. We are going to end this episode with a little bit of news. We are going to have Mr. Forrest Nystrom as a special guest host of Brewed Opinions on some of our larger shows, our pay-per-view previews, and Forrest has been a phenomenal partner to the show. He's a supporter of Brewed Opinions, and basing by everyone looking at our show, that you love Forrest too. So
yeah.
Forrest is going
apparently to be these two bozos talking beat me being a bozo with these two bozos. So let's beat that.
Episode 30.
Episode 30 needs to beat these two just talking to each other. Like,
so Forrest you're going to start seeing a lot more Forrest on the show.
And a lot less Kyle Steele.
A lot less Kyle Steele. But Kyle Steele, we want to hear from you too.
Yeah. Fuck him.
And I think we do have a thing.
And Chris Carnage.
I think we have something with Ironside in the brew.
Fuck him and his clown car driving ass too.
We've been trying to connect with Ironside. We had a little messaging back and forth, so we might be seeing Ironside on the show. We might want to see what happens at Ascension first.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things on the horizon. But Forrest,
thank you.
Once again, dude. Awesome. Like I said, we're an hour and a half in.
Yeah.
I feel like we could keep going, but
we could. But if you me just telling you fuck
especially
Kyle Steele
with
and Chris
Chelsea
Carnage.
Green on TV. I mean,
yeah.
Oh no, Chelsea Green. No, Jade.
Yeah, it's Jade and Piper Niven.
Uh-oh. The table's gonna start lifting. So
All right.
we're gonna. All right, guys. We appreciate it. You finally just got it. Okay. We'll see how many people listen to the end of the episode to see if they got that, because I think Forrest is still trying to think about it. But
it's been a long day.
But anyway, there's a lot of good-looking women in this match.
Right.
But guys, episode 30 in the books. We appreciate all your support.
Thank you, Forrest.
30
for coming,
episodes.
Forrest, with us.
All seriousness. Thank you for being another amazing guest, and we want to see more. We can't wait for our draft special.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to have tuxes. Mel Kiper might even show up.
Mel Kiper might show up.
We might even
talk
talk about Wisconsin football.
Wisconsin football.
I'm sure some of the wrestlers have wrestled.
Okay. University of Wisconsin, okay. The state of Wisconsin, not okay.
Okay, now you're drawing some blurry lines.
We're not.
I don't have beef with I just want the University of Wisconsin Badgers to know I have no beef with y'all. Specifically want the state. Not y'all, just the state. I know you're in the state, but just y'all are cool for now.
And once again, Boomer, we love you. Go listen back to that episode.
If you like what you're hearing with us, if you like the Brewed Opinions, if you like the content we're bringing,
subscribe to us.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah.
It means a lot if we can get those things. And just like we always end every podcast, ELEJ, right?
Great words of Jackie Moon. ELE.
Everybody
love everybody. Peace out.